Hey YouTube! Okay, so this is my spiritual journey, just all put together in little mini clips that each title will have the highlight of what I'm talking about in bite size uh, increments. That way you can choose like the different concepts that you would like to hear about. And it's just going to be like my thoughts, also things that I've learned. I'll be putting a lot of stuff in the description. And let's have conversations. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know where you are on your spiritual journey. Are you like 6 days in, 6 months in, 60 years in? Like, let's talk about it. Anyways, you want to enjoy the video. So here we go. Hello. So, this video is about why I call it the middle road. There is the Buddhist way of the middle way, and for me, it kind of closely relates a lot to, I guess, like Christianity's God put everything on the earth in moderation, and like for your consumption in moderation. And I was a big component in that. And then something was like, life is making you expand. Life is making other people expand. And I had this whole thing. I did acid and went on this whole thing about like in the tarot, the cups are emotions and love and stuff like that. And if you put a bunch of cups together, it would make a fountain. And so it would be like a bunch of cups pouring into each other. And so that's like my idea of like how expansion works. It's like you were one cup and then you just kept expanding yourself into like a bigger and bigger cup. And then once that cup was big, then you like added on smaller cups that like expand into these other things. But then they become this fountain and people don't know that it came originally from like this first cup. You know? Yeah? Okay. You feeling it? No? Yes? Okay. Whatever. So I like the idea of expansion because Jupiter, again, going back to the charts, Jupiter is the house of expansion and Sagittarius rules over it. My North Node is in Sagittarius. And for me, like the idea of expansion has a lot to do with expanding your capacity, expanding your beliefs, expanding your desires. Like, it's literally everything. And there's certain things, like, again, like I thought about when I was a kid, but then I also thought about in college. And it's just like, it's all like coming together because I'm moving past it. It's almost like this year I was coming up with these ideas of like how to move past it, but then couldn't like comprehend or make it coherent all the time. And so I had like a really good example here. Oh man, what was it? Oh, okay. So, okay. Seers, people who can just, who divine things, channelers, all that stuff. There was a story I heard when I was a kid about being on, what was it? Oh, like the Middle Passage. The slave ship, the what? The slave ships that would go to America, and it was like there would be these people who would say, like, we can't go there. We got to get the fuck off this ship. Fuck this. We need to be out. It's evil. The devil there. You know, all that fun stuff. And so, um, and people would be like, shut the fuck up. And there were also like people like thrown off of ships because they kept saying, you know, like, oh, I know what you're trying to do. I know, like, this is not going to be a good situation. And I related that to like this Holocaust survivor story where he was a young boy going on one of the trains to one of the concentration camps, and there was this lady on the train who was like, we're going to hell. They're going to burn us alive. We can't go here. We got to get the fuck off this train. Like, y'all don't hear me. I'm trying to tell you right now. We got to get the fuck off this train. Like, we're going to hell. They're going to kill us all. We got to get the fuck. And it was like, just shut the fuck up. Anyways, so I related that to, ooh, people shoot the messenger. Like, who want to be the Not me. Not I, Sam, I am. Not I. Because people will come for you when you a messenger because you just trying to tell people stuff and they're going to be like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, oh, I'm not trying to be that kid. Nope. No siree, Bob. But it was like, but you are like a person who sees stuff and not everyone is the person on the train, right? Like, people don't, it's not always that person, but because you can think of those kind of instances where it's like clearly like they try to tell people and they still just didn't listen, you know. So then it's like, why you want to tell people stuff they ain't gonna listen? What's the point of that? So my going this new route, I had to realize like a part of me that was like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, was the, you know, people gonna shoot the messenger? Like, if you try to go off of something or branch off, not everyone's gonna like that, you know. But normally I'm like, no, you don't know. Like, I'm awesome. I can do anything. Anyways, um, but still, it was just like, but I don't have to. Like, I mean, I feel like they'll be fine without me. Like, it's not that serious. But there's something that's like, not that it's like it's serious, but it's like you still need to do it. So going back to what was this original thought? Integration, yes, of the self. Okay, yeah, okay. So when I started thinking about these new things, yes, there we go. Integrating the light and shadow self reminds me a lot of what we call like low vibrational energy and like high vibrational energy. And dang, that dude, Aaron Dowdy, he has like that scale all the time. Anyways, but ooh, I hope I don't mess up these numbers. But it's like 20 or 50. The bottom is shame, and then as you move up, you keep having like different emotions, right? So as you go up, you know, there's like fear, and then there's like, I don't, okay, now I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to go in the wrong order. But like, so as you get like 125, you know, you're there, and then 135, it's like desire, that kind of thing. You get to 200s and stuff. It's more of it really closely like resonates with like the chakra system. When you're doing like the 7 chakra system versus 12. I mean, okay, so with the chakras, there you go. When you start off, the root is red, and you go up, and there's the sacral chakra is orange. And so it's like there's certain colors associated, certain elements associated, going up. And it kind of reminds me of that same vibrational scale. And I actually, since the phone decided to have like a little, oh, we're going to cut, I was like, oh, don't I have a note that is that scale? So I found it. Yay. Okay, so yeah, so 20 was shame, 30 is guilt, 75 is grief. Like, I'm just doing random ones. I didn't want to do all of them. 100 is fear, 125 is desire, 150 is anger, 200 is courage, 250 is words. We're not doing that today. You're neutral. There you go. 350 acceptance, 400 reason, 500 love, 600 peace, 700 plus enlightenment. So I was thinking about like, enlightenment, there's more than one path. And so how I think of this, okay, so going back to my, okay, I'll make sure the mic's in there. Okay, so going back to the idea of there's like duality idea, like there's these two things, but what if like those two things have like their own shadows, I guess. Kind of like when people say with twin flames, the divine masculine has like an inner feminine, and then the divine feminine has an inner masculine. But if you think about it, like when those two people come together, wouldn't it be like 4 things? Like, anyways, so how I think of it is like the light lessons and the shadow vacations, and then the middle road. And then the middle road goes into 2. And then for the middle road, those 2 is the 2 different enlightened roads. And one enlightened road is the both idea, where you're very much grounded in the 3D and existence in this reality. So your enlightenment, you don't really like change a lot in your life. Like literally, you don't change anything. You just understand that there's also like a spiritual situation going on with the everyday occurrence of your life. Versus what I call like the enlightened, who are the people who are like the neither. They're just kind of like on some next level different stuff. We don't even know, because it's just like it's not what anyone else is doing. Like it's the neither. It's so that's where I have the idea of like the both and the neither. Usually is like the next 2 roads, and you can actually kind of like straddle both, and you can do both, or pick one. But for me, I think that and consciousness is really helpful. And it was funny because I've been whoa, I'm yawning now. Okay, I didn't even think I was tired. Might be time for a nap. Real talk, naps are important. But oh man, okay, yeah, okay, so I was still reading that. Okay, good, I'm back. Hey. The enlightened path of when you get to a certain space where you can kind of like see the timeline of not only your life, but like life in general, history, how things are created, where things should be going, and your place in it, which has a lot to do with like solar star or the soul star. Like there's lots of different names, whatever, anyways. But a lot of times there's debates about like, is that the one that you go find out like Akashi records, or is it just like your life purpose? I feel like it might have more to do with the life purpose, but that's just me. I mean, it's not just me. There's actually, that's why I was getting onto this point. Yay. Um, there, I was like, I was coming up with this stuff. I was writing a lot of stuff about it. I forgot about it. Moved on to some other stuff. Came back. And then was doing more work on this. And then why did I just happen to find like some videos about a person who's like kind of on it with me? And no, I haven't like watched every single video this person has made, but those were helpful. And they expand on a lot of the concepts I'm bringing up now. And because I'm not trying to have super long stuff, it's like, why, work smarter, not harder. If there's another person that's done a similar video or with similar concepts that you believe, why make another one? It's like, let me just link it. If you care more to know, you'll watch it. Like if you're like, nah, I'm good, you won't. Like I'm not pressed. Anyways, so going back, light lessons. Okay, so light lessons reminds me of like when people are like, are you here to do the work? You're here on Earth School. You're here to do the work for your soul's growth. Your soul want to grow. You need to help it. Tell your ego to shut up, so then you can, go with the flow, and let your soul do what it do. Let it do what it do. I want to do what it do. Okay, and then versus what I call shadow vacation. And shadow vacation is like a plateau in life. It's like I've done some growing and we need to plateau. It's like I was doing and we need to plateau for a while before we do this again, or even that, or whatever. But we need a plateau. It can even be the slip down, but for the most time, slip down isn't really a slip down. It's more like gaining the energy to come back up. Cause it's like, oh, like a car, like it wouldn't have gone up the hill, but if you like made it go like, like then it gets the momentum. Going back to momentum, hey. So with the idea of like the Holy Trinity, but instead of the Father, Son, Holy Ghost thing, going more with the mother, the father, and the child. Then if you think of it, it's like if the child was the enlightenment, it's the growth. The child is able to like make more ideas and make more children, if that makes sense. So that's why the middle road can actually, it is the neither, which I almost think of like monks and like spiritual teachers or something, but it's also the both. Like the high school teacher that's just trying to make a difference in the world and align themselves to realize like we need light workers everywhere. We need human angels everywhere. We need our fairies everywhere and all the types of fae. So it's just one of those things like, star seeds be out here. Everyone's got a role. You stay in your lane. And sometimes you're in a lot of lanes. So that works out if you're a person in multiple lanes. But like it realigns you back with like what you're supposed to be doing. When you're able to tap in, not just like that chakra or anything, but that idea of, okay, I've done some light lessons and I've done the shadow vacations, and now I want to see what the middle road unknown has for me, because it's going to be lit as hell, and that's where all the cool people are. Like, if that helps to get you there, well, there you go. But legit, it kind of is though. It's like, yeah, that is where all the cool people are. Like, so let me wrap this up with like, your vibration is like a lens that you look at your life through. And that lens is just too limited to look at the full picture of you. When you're really happy and you look back on your life, I mean, it just looks so great, very high vibe. When you're like sad and depressed or you're anxious, you look back, you're like, man, I fucked all that shit up. I fucked all that shit up. Like, you know what I mean? It's not cute. Because when you're looking through that lens. So if you think of the vibrations I brought up earlier, that's what it is. It's like if you're at 20 vibration of shame, you're looking at not only your current situation, but your past situations, your future situations. They're all just going to be clouded with that lens of that vibration. And so when you're moving up in the vibrations, when they say, like the 500, 600 is where you want to be 700, it just kind of makes sense. It's those higher up chakras. And so with using those like teachings, those are something that was helpful for me to say, oh, am I thinking in a lens of like 300 right now? And so that's why I can't do it, because it's more like willpower. You have to work hard. It's so hard, not to get that much of effort, but like, not effort, but like the goal you want. The goal you want is actually going to take longer because you're pushing so hard. It's almost like when you come from love, you won't push as hard. You'll put less effort in, but effort is still put in. It's just not to the extreme that you were doing before, and actually comes to you not necessarily always quicker, but like in a just easier way. Like, it's just not so much resistance against it. So this video is longer, but I think it's important for it to be for the idea of what is the, like, what is this road thing that I'm talking about? And also bringing back the idea of like the lenses, what channeling, well, let's start on that, because there's like a bunch of stuff I could talk about channeling, like, for realsies. I'm trying to look down and see if there's anything else. Like, I feel like I'm missing something. That's what it was. Thank you. Okay, so vacation. So shadow vacation. I was talking to someone one day and I said, I wasn't acting like myself for a hot minute. And it was awkward because I could feel like I wasn't being myself. And it was really annoying. And I just kept needing like to ask people to help me for things, or like with things, and or like asking like, should I do this? Like, or what's your opinion? And it's funny because I'm a person who really doesn't care a lot about other people's opinions. So it was like really weird. but then when you looked at my planets and what was going on, it makes sense. So it was like, oh darn, it's like a period, it's a phase, it's all that fun stuff. But it was really helpful because then I was able to see a different perspective. Like, say, when people act like that, I just didn't get it. I would be like, what are you talking about? You couldn't what? And it's like, oh, I see now. I see why. So when I took a vacation for myself, when I came back to myself, I had so much gratitude for myself. I was like, wow, I really love me because I wasn't being me and I missed me. And so when I came back to me, it was like, I missed you, bitch. Where you been at? Oh my gosh, it was hard out here. It was hard. Did you hear it? Did you hear the annoyance? And so, but then I had to love and accept even vacationing me, because vacation me is like, look, we did some stuff, and F you, I'm gonna rest on these fucking laurels. And you want a reference to that, I have a tarot video about it where I talked about it. Dang it, which one was it? It was an Aquarius video about, oh, you're not Superman. I mean, you're Superman, you're not Clark Kent or something like that. Which, I feel like I was still going through like this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing, where I was, instead of like integrating my light and shadow self, they were kind of like fighting with each other. So I had a lot of videos about like, we're all just like good people who've done bad things. I don't know why people are acting so extra. But I know that having a detachment from labels in general really helps you, because it's almost like you detach from labels, so then you can like decide which labels you actually want to keep. So when you detach from like, you just say like, I am a good person and a bad person and a fucked up person and a great person and I'm an awesome person and I'm a creeper and I'm a weirdo and it's like you say all like the good, the bad, the ugly. You just be like, I'm all that. I'm all of it. I'm all of it. Because technically as humans, we're capable of literally anything. You don't know what circumstances you need to be put in to be pushed to certain things. But like most of us, we all have that thing that would like crack that nut, So it really gives you a compassion for like not only yourself and others, because you're like, we're all really like trying to like tread water on these types of things. And so when you say like, I'm everything and I'm nothing, it's like, yeah, I can be all these things, but really I'm not any of these things. When I came into this earth, like I didn't have any of these labels or things. I was just living my life and stuff. So, and then I rolled up, and then there's all these messages and information. And when you're a baby, you have so many like little neurons in your brain, and it's at some next level, like higher than you can comprehend, like neural activity happening in there. Like babies are smart as F, y'all. Like, whoop. They're doing a lot in there, like new pathways, all that kind of stuff. So, that's why even as adults, when you're like, oh, I'm really good at doing something, if I just watch someone, yeah, because your mirror neurons are popping. And I'll be like, oh, my mirror neurons be popping because I just need to watch you a few more times. I'll figure it out. Like, so, we call that hands-on learning. Because I was that kid who was like, I don't know what you're talking about in chemistry and biology, but I know what the fuck you're talking about when we go to the lab. Why didn't they just call it starch? Because then I would have knew it was a potato. What is a poly what? No. What? Nah, what? No. You should have just said it was starch. then I would have understood. I used to have moments like that. Anyways, college biology. It just came back to me. I was so mad. Okay, but I would find so many like great people, and they would be helpful, and then I would read stuff and I would figure things out. It would frustrate me a lot. But I would work through it. And everything. So, oh dang it, I feel like I'm going super tangents now. Okay, bring it back, bring it back. So yeah, the so again, the middle road for me isn't even like one road. Like, it's so funny. It's not even a road. Like, some people are flying, some people are walking, some people are crawling. I'm thinking of animals and insects and birds and stuff. Okay. I was like, a disclaimer reference. But the point is that the journey is what you make it. Fall in love with the journey process. Fall in love with the process. It makes it easier. When I realize I just do this every couple of years, anyways, like, it makes sense. And then once a year, I have like a trigger to do it. I talked to a friend of mine the other day, and she was like, "Don't you remember when our friend?" Oh, trigger warning. Oh, maybe I should put that in the comments. Okay, I'll put that in there. But yeah, trigger warning for suicide. Skip. But yeah, my friend, I have a tattoo here. Oh, it's backwards. Whatever. Anyways, but her name was Cherish, and she killed herself in the month of March. And my friend was trying to remind me, like, in March you always try to fix yourself. And I was like, I've never noticed that. And the other day I went through like my journals from like the last 10 years. And I always start a journal in February, March, or April. Like, I don't, like, I'll get to fallish and maybe like either fall off and get back on. But yeah, I will start a journal around then. And when I looked at the day, it was March 3rd. And I was like, oh, it's the 3-3, so it was really easy for me to remember. It's that when I'm trying to fix myself versus when I'm just trying to transform or change or whatever, just because like I purged and got rid of something, but then also the idea of then there are also times where I can just expand and hold the capacity for two conflicting ideas or even multiple conflicting ideas and hold space for that. Like, that takes a lot of capacity. So, and being able to do both, like, that culmination of, I don't know, ideas, events, whatever, something, uh, is why I had to go on vacation and why in life it'll still happen. It goes back to my earlier video about the ebb and flow. It's just like, it happens. It's a part of life. It's not about avoiding it. It's about how to deal with life and yourself and others, and how you approach things, and how you want to leave your mark on the world in this particular lifetime, if you believe in that sort of thing. If you don't, then, like, even if you don't believe in reincarnation, like, do you want the world to be all like messed up after you left it because you like just contributed to that? Like, and if you do, like, think about why you don't care. Like, why you so butthurt? Yeah, no, I'm being so serious. Like, why you so butthurt? Like, what the world do to you just so bad? And then you're going to be like, girl, and then it's going to be like, so you're still holding that pain then, huh? That's what I mean by like, think about it. It's just like, there are so many bad things that happen to people every day. It is entitlement to think that things won't happen to you. So when you hold on to stuff, it eats away at you because you're forgetting a fundamental part of being a human being, which is suffering, which is what Buddha tells you. We're just saying now, this is not the time for only moderation in the idea of you can't have things of your wildest dreams if you choose. But that choice is something that comes from your spirit, your personal higher self, not from your ego. And so when we allow our egos to continue to control us, or even the little emotions in ourselves that I like to call the little advisory board from the movie Inside Out, tell us what to do. If you think of those vibrations as that, those little emotions from Inside Out, then I can say, discuss, how do you feel about this situation? Happiness, how do you feel about this situation? Sadness, how did you feel about that situation? Anger, how did you feel about that situation? Now I have a better picture. And then I'm also not associating myself with those emotions. I understand that I am a very complex, fully faceted, multi-capacity being that can actually realize, oh, I'm not my emotions, they're the advisory board. And then technically the leader of the advisory board is my ego, but technically I'm not even the ego either. The ego reports to me, not the other way around. So if I'm doing stuff, ego, tell me where my keys are. How do I do that? I just say it out loud. I just say, where are my keys? You know where it's at. And so it could be the fairies. Sometimes it do, but legit. But like other times it's just like, I forgot where I put them. And my brain knows where it is. Your brain's a computer. You need to say, hey, locate that stuff. And so when I let shit go that I don't need anymore, it's not because there's not enough, it's just because of a lack. No, it's just because I just literally didn't need it anymore. I'm like, I'm done with using it. Like, are you in the bathroom? Oh, I'm about to be done in a minute. Like, we're done now. It's good. We're good. We'll be back, or maybe not. Like, I don't know, but like, I'm good now. Okay, yeah. So it's like trying to get as much possible about this middle road thing as possible. So that's why this was going to be longer than the other ones. But I was just like, no, you're going to keep talking until you can get as much out about this as possible. As possible as possible. Because really, this is just like almost like a skills share journey thing. It's like, this could just be for me for 5 years from now when I look back on my life, or it could really help someone else who's like, girl, I'm going through it, or I didn't even know about any of this shit. What are you talking about? Or my favorite, like, I know about everything you're talking about, and I like your perspective on it. So that's always fun. So yeah, okay. Now I feel like I want to stop this one. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Oh, the last thing. Oh, so I think the next ones I should do should be about like the power of now, Eckhart Tolle, like Abraham Hicks kind of stuff. Because I wanted to link the Abraham. Okay, well, again, I'll put that in the next video. I'm just going to end this because the phone decided to stop. So I'm like, yep, that was the sign. Get off. So I love you. I love me. I love us. I love we. I'll see you soon. I'm not editing this video, but I have a feeling that I jump around a lot. So if you got this far, you clearly already know that, and I thank you for surviving through that. I'll try to put some shit in the comments, but you know, we out here living our best lives on the middle road.